Yeah, I mean, it's a crazy feeling. You know, when I was a kid, I would have never have thought to one, have a career in professional surfing, and two, to be able to see surfing in the Olympic Games for surfing, and to have it on the highest stage of sport, and to be a part of it is really exciting. Growing up in Australia, you know, my culture was it was probably 60% Japanese and 40% Australian. Growing up with my mum in Australia, you know, I spent a lot of time as a kid being surrounded by Japanese culture and Japanese community. You know, surrounded myself with a lot of great Japanese friends and family that now I still speak to. You know, now I'm 30, so to speak to them from when I was 10 to now, and you know, it's great to be able to represent such a proud and passionate country. You know, I am just as much Japanese as I am Australian, and fan base that I love to represent at the highest level. And you know, I'm very fortunate enough to be able to do that, and you know, hopefully inspire and educate and be a role model to up and coming Japanese surfers that you know, a normal kid with not too much talent can get to the highest stage of whatever sport that they dream to be at. And yeah, it's just a great addition to my career, and I love to you know, bring home gold for Japan and showcase, you know, the level of surfing that Japan has to offer. Well, I guess I'm the oldest out of all of them, so I guess for me it's just being the best team support. I guess for me, you know, I've known Shinai and Rio for my whole life, ever since I was a kid. You know, we used to do contests and stuff together, and yeah, Kanoa as well. I've known him since I was a little kid, so we've all grown up together, and so it's a very easy mix of I guess people to be surrounded by, because we all know each other so well, and we all feel comfortable around each other. And you know, I feel like we're all on our individual goals and we all have our individual aspirations, but at the end of the day, we're all doing it for Japan as well, and doing it for our countries and representing our countries as best as we can. And we all want to see our country, men and women, do really well. So that support factor for sure is going to be there for me, and yeah, going to be there to cheer them on and be there for them whenever they need. My wife and I got married in Australia 4 years ago when COVID happened, and we were always planning to do another little separate wedding in Japan at the same time, just because I've got aunties and uncles and family and friends and fans that you know, I would have loved to have the wedding in Australia, but just because of COVID, everyone was locked down. So last year we were very fortunate enough that the Japan opened the borders, and everyone, or you know, tourists and everyone were allowed to come in, and that was I thought that was a great time for us to be able to do the little wedding ceremony in Japan last year with my wife, and her family came over, and we ended up having 100, probably more people at the wedding here than the wedding in Australia. So it was great to see, you know, all my family and friends that I've grown up seeing coming here, you know, since I was a child, and to be able to celebrate that moment with them, and to see how happy they were to be there. And you know, even for my grandma, who was able to see it and be there as well, was really cool. And you know, to have two vastly different cultures together in Japan in a kind of a cultural-ish setting was really special, and it's definitely one that you know, I'll remember for the rest of my life. I think for a lot of people, it's a very scary wave. It's a big left barreling on coral reef. It's shallow and very dangerous. But, you know, amidst all of that, there's a lot of beauty involved in that wave, and it's so perfect. And the surroundings of Tahiti in general is a very spiritual place. You know, there's a lot of deep history there, and you know, you got the big mountains and you know the coral reefs, and it's the most beautiful place in the world. And growing up in Cronulla in Sydney in Australia, there was a few waves that are similar to that wave in Tahiti where the Olympics is on. So I grew up surfing a lot of waves like that from an early age. So going into my first ever tour event there, it wasn't as daunting as maybe some other surfers would see it. I mean, yeah, it's definitely scary. There's definitely moments of fear and all that. But for me personally, you know, I use that fear as like a great challenge. You know, it's such a great challenge to be able to see how hard you can push yourself. Yeah, I mean, the goal is definitely to get a gold medal. You know, I wouldn't be going into the Olympics, you know, setting myself with any lower goal. I think we have such a great team, you know, this coming Olympics with Rio, Kanoa, myself and Shina. I think there's such great talent coming out of Japan, and you know, for us, it's just pushing the limits of our surfing to be able to showcase that Japan's, you know, on the map with, you know, the Brazilians and the Australians and countries like that, to be able to create high-level surfing athletes. And yeah, I mean, I'm sure Kanoa and Rio will be saying the same thing. We're going for gold, and I feel like it's a wave that is suited to me more than other locations on the world tour and on, you know, on the map of the world. So yeah, I'm going to go for gold, and that's, you know, that's it. I'm going to set the bar at that and go from there.